Do I have to retrain you guys or something? A force that is both dark and vile has arrived and immediately left. I've been doing that a lot lately. Very kind to them, frankly. Of the... and the sound of the brew of dusks, and she prefers to consume bayberry wine. Multiple ambushes curse all friends of nature. I just had to click that button a lot of times. Well, holy wow. Well, this is a little bit ironic because I've just been informed by my dwarves that I need to chop down more trees to be able to do some wood crafting, so hold on. Okay, so I will turn this on. Yeah, your military dwarf is about to be tested, this is true. What are they at next game? Oh, geez. So, we're getting attacked by goblins and elves at the same time. And the elves are turning those goblins into red paste. Well, that's a good sign. This goblin they're trying to turn him into a pincushion. But the problem is, because he's got metal armor, it's mostly just deflecting it until they finally get, like, on top of him and just beat him to death. All right, chat, pray for my dwarves. I think they're going to need it. Also, that's just a random... how did you get in here? Also, how did you get past all my soldiers? Anyway, there's just like a goblin thief. This is about to get really violent. Let's just send all of the military up and forward to right here so that the dwarves don't get separated. And it appears the Catan is up in the lead. But thank you, regardless, Shiny Links. I hope you're doing well. No, it's Catan shouting charge, not you, Zwari. Well, you might be now, but Catan already shouted charge. Actually, Catan's probably shouting Leroy Jenkins or something to that degree. Although Catan is a member of your squad, so I would say Catan is doing a better job charging into battle than you are. However, Datan is right behind Catan, not to be confused. Watch like Zwari not even be here. Okay, no, Zwari is just terrified. Which is oddly funny. And did in fact bring her battle axe, but it is strapped to her upper body. We got Merlin buffs, several other dwarves running into battle as well. Catan's already in a martial trance, bites the elf bowman in the right lower leg, bruising the muscle through the Rami high boot. There's no way this is actually going to be a fair fight, but, you know, it is what it is. I've been putting so much dedicated effort into defending the caverns that, like, I've been kind of neglecting the surface to a degree. Catan is still in that martial trance. We also have Datan here, who isn't in a martial trance, who is also doing a very good job hacking the elves apart through their armor, because their armor is simply made of wood. Also, it seems like vast majority of these guys, at least the ones in the front row, are all carrying bows, which is actually really good, because they will just fire their arrows and then run away when they run out of ammo, which is actually very good for us. They're all firing their bolts out. The dwarves are doing a pretty effective job of dodging. That first elf who ran past everybody else is flying to pieces. Let's see if it has any final words. It is faint and bleeding heavily. The most recent thing that happened is the militia the militia captain hacks the elf bowman in the upper leg with her right foot, jamming the bone through the left hip's muscle. And I guess that was you, in that case, Zwari. So the virginal silvers of tin, aka Zwari II, is doing a grand job. Are you even? Oh, you can't equip an axe. I need to remove you from the military because you have some partial paralyzation. You can't, motor nerve has been severed. You cannot move your hand. So because of this, you just have your axe strapped to your back. So you are shouting orders and probably drumming on the back of your shield and using your shield as a blunt force bashing weapon, or just simply kicking the elf in the leg. But you did kick the elf hard enough that it jammed the bone all the way up through the hip, which shattered the left hip. Ow. Dwarves are moving forward directly through. We are following Zwari II, the shield-wielding bastard, ramming into the sides of the elven onslaught. We do have two dwarves now in a martial trance that I can see. We've got Bembul, the spear dwarf, who is stabbing an elf in the head with a tower. You're using a wooden spear. Well, now that's insult to injury on part of that elf there. I mean, imagine the embarrassment of that elf getting stabbed with a spear after their own. Spear dwarf stabs the elf with a tower cap spear, tearing through the muscle. And the Persimmon Woodhead. Helm. Welcome back, Linku. How many dwarves do we really have? Not even that many. It's like a squad and a bit. But still just the one martial trance. Where did Catan end up? No longer in a martial trance. Well, that about checks out. Catan here. Well, at least this is good training opportunities. Zwari at the back. Most recently striking an elf in the left foot with a steel shield. Crushing it apart. Fight speeds up. It's like time itself is standing still. However, Neurokeys, the other militia captain, is in a martial trance, which is saving their life right now as they've become tired during the fighting. This dwarf is currently hacking at an elf bowman in the upper body with her steel battle axe, tearing apart the muscle. And if I look up here, as you can see, well, we've still got a lot left in this elven force. They continue to move forward through the wall of viscera. I'm very worried about my dwarves because they're all getting tired. If they get tired, we will lose this fight. We also have a dwarf here, Kogan, who is now winded and nauseous. What I really need is I need them to split. Oh, actually, hold up. Maybe they are. I'm seeing some elves moving backwards, which is a good sign. I'm seeing injuries on my dwarves now, which is not a good sign. We've got Nish here, who is in a martial trance. Specifically, Nish, Neurokeys. Zwari is up in the middle of the fray. Poulon has lost some armor. Kogan is dying. Scanning around to see who's still around. Fighting continues. My dwarves are all getting tired. Are they at the very least running out of ammo? Okay, so most of these elves that are remaining are out of ammo, which is a really good sign for us. This one still has 23 arrows left. How about you? 2 arrows left. This dwarf is extremely overexerted. Is actually getting shaken around by that grizzly bear that just ran off just now. Datan here is still at full capacity, hacking at the elf bowman with her steel battle axe, and their arm sails off in an arc. Toulon here is exhausted and winded. Kokoroko is also exhausted and winded. Is actually just bashing at them with the crossbow because they're also out of ammo. Neurokeys is fighting through the side back here. Because they are overexerted, they're probably going to start taking damage pretty soon. In fact, they just got hit by a wooden arrow, but it was deflected by their steel greaves. Most recently, the captain hacked at the elf in the upper leg with a steel battle axe, fracturing the bone through the linen leggings. The force pulls the left leg, tearing apart the muscle, bruising the bone and tearing apart the muscle and bruising the bone. A ligament has been torn and a tendon has been torn. I'm going to unpause the game, and the few remaining elves collapse onto the ground. And I think that's the fight. These absolute heroes. Neurokeys here has never fought with elves before, has now killed 11 elves. Zwari here also has never fought with elves, has killed 4. And Kokoroko here, well, didn't get any kills because you're a crossbow dwarf. More about tiring them out. Merlin buff here. It's killed 3 and 7, +1 notable.